Alright, so move on to Bretonnia turn 3, and both of us felt comfortable that those Knights Errant were out of combat, because we really, even the turn before, weren't sure they should be in combat, and now because that whole unit that they were in contact with was gone, I don't know if we should have moved them over to come in contact with the Fleshhounds, or if they were out of combat. And if anybody knows, I would love to know that, but we both of us thought that they were out. So they charged the Flamers. Pegasus Knights finally passed their fear test and charged the flank of the Fleshhounds. Looks good. I don't know if I'm going to have enough to beat them this round of combat. Other than that, really, my Knights just turned. Just did a reform on my Questy Knights and my Knights of the Realm at the top. My Grail Relic rallied, so it's there. So I kind of like how I have them on 2, maybe 3 sides, which is what I think I'm going to need to have them. My fast cav, I'm really just getting out of the way. I don't see them being able to help much over here. They can secure table quarter, and I want them available should I need them to redirect, but for the most part I think they're just hanging out. My bowmen are just shooting at anything they can. I'm shooting at his Bloodthirster, which is just silly because I can't get through the armor save. At one point I did kill a couple of his Bloodletters. So there's another look at setting up for future charges. And I hope that's not after combat. Okay, so my Knights Errant charge into the Flamers, and I have 12 guys in that unit, so 10 get to attack. Or 9 get to attack. There's 10 attacks. Figured, I think, as you can see, 5 of them hit, and I rolled a wound, strength 6, toughness 3, and that is my 2-wound roll. I've never seen that. But it didn't matter. I had so much combat res that I popped all 3 of them, but yeah, that was bad. Okay, so here we go. This is after combat. My Questy Knight's dead. I've only killed one of the Fleshhounds, but I'm not in a bad situation there. Knights Errant popped the Flamers through combat res. The Knights didn't wound any of them, obviously. The horses actually did get several wounds, and then with combat res it was easy. So on his turn, Daemons turn 3, he takes the Pink Horrors on the hill, and they charge into the flank of my Pegasus Knights. And I think one of the reasons he did that was that gave him the outnumber. Because if you look at it, it's unit strength 8 to unit strength 8 until the Pink Horrors get there. Now I better win the combat because he's got a flank, a rank, and an outnumber, and if he beats me at all, I'm going to be auto-breaking. So Daemons turn 3, he moves his Bloodthirster up so he can be part of the action. His you can see he takes his Herald of Corn at the far left and moves him out of that unit and turns the unit on the far left to face my Knights. And the other unit, I'm confused because the models are all weird, but I'm pretty sure that painted model is his champion, and I think they're still facing my my Grail Relic. So I could be wrong there, but I'm pretty sure that's how it was. So, man, if that Bloodthirster was painted, that would be just a great picture. Alright, so something went crazy good for me this time. Did a bunch of wounds on the Fleshhounds, actually won combat, and was able to not be auto-broken. And if I'm not there now, pretty soon, it's not going to take me long to get back to where I outnumber, and that fear is gone. So Bretonnia turn 4, the Knights Errant on my last turn had beaten the Flamers, so now they turn so they can look at the action. And I do a combined charge of Knights of the Realm and my Questy Knights, and my Grail Knights, I'm sorry, into that one Bloodletter unit. And I take my Grail Relic, and thank goodness it passes fear test, and it charged into the flank of his Herald of Corn on the Juggernaut. And I don't think I can wound him in actual combat, but I'll have a flank, 3 ranks, outnumber, banner. Yeah, I've got a lot of combat res going for me there, so I like my chances there. So over here, the Fleshhounds are now all dead, and now it's just me and the Pink Horrors. And because I won combat, I brought more models into base-to-base contact, and I'm going to win that very soon. What I was hoping, after I wiped out that unit, which was great, I did an overrun. I needed to overrun with my Knights of the Realm first and get them out of the way of my Grail Knights, so that my Grail Knights could then overrun and get in combat with his Bloodletters up at the top and at least get the charge on him. Because on his turn, I think he's going to charge me with his Bloodthirster, and those guys are probably going to die anyway. So the best chance I have is at least getting a charge in. But I didn't roll enough with my Knights of the Realm. So that was unfortunate. And I did put a wound on the Herald of Khorne on the Juggernaut through the combat res. So let's look at the overall board. Close up there again, and we move to Demons turn 4. Yeah, so it didn't work. So my poor Grail Knights got charged in the front by the Bloodletters and in the rear with the Bloodthirster, and those poor guys are not going to last long. So if you look, the Bloodletters decided not to pursue. The Bloodthirster did. He ran down whatever was remaining of my Grail Knights, which I actually kind of like. I don't like that on his next turn he can charge my Pegasus Knights, but at least he's not facing everything else. If you notice, there's no more of the Herald of Khorne on the Juggernaut. Beat him this turn through combat res, so way to go, peasants. Bretonnia turn 5. I don't want to rush into anything, so I just set up my charges. His general isn't going to be able to charge me this turn, so I have time. And right now I'm set up for 2 flank attacks. He'll probably turn on his turn, and either way I'm going to get some nice bonuses in that combat. So finally won the big horror unit. The problem is it took to my turn to win it, and I couldn't move. If I'd beaten him on his turn, these guys could have flown out of sight of his Bloodthirster and would have been saved. But now I'm just standing there, and he's going to be able to charge me on his turn, which he does, and I decide to flee. All those models are just his dead units that he didn't like to take off the table, so apologize for the confusion. But those are my Pegasus Knights fleeing from his Bloodthirster. He turns to face one unit knowing he can't avoid everything else. He's just trying to get as many models into the combat as possible. Bretonnia turn 6, my Pegasus Knights rally. I just didn't turn them around because I didn't feel like wasting the time. I dual charge these guys. I actually decided not to bring... I have the Royal Pegasus up there. I have my Fast Cav to the left of the screen. I have my Grail Relic. And I just didn't want to bring them in because I felt the only thing they were going to do was make it easier for my opponent to get some wounds on me. I have 3 ranks because of the Knights Errant. I have Outnumber. I have everything I need to get, so I just kept everybody else out of the combat and just charged in with all that. And when all was said and done, he had 1 guy left. But Bretonnia turn 6, I went first, though. There's another turn, and he's easily going to pop on that turn unless he rolls Snake Eyes for his Inspility test, which he doesn't do. So on his turn, he charges his Bloodthirster into my Pegasus Knights. I decide to hold because now I just need to get lucky 1 turn of combat, and it doesn't work. He slaps my guys around like they're nothing. So that's the end of the game, and what you're looking at with his Bloodthirster is the only guy left he has alive. But again, that's almost 600 points right there. I lost my Questing Knights, I lost my General, I lost my Grail Knights, lost my Men-at-Arms, and my Trebuchet. But for the most part, I still have a lot of stuff left on the table. So going into to the final game of the tournament, I've got 2 wins under my belt, and playing. I think I'm in 2nd place in total points so far, playing the 1st place player next, and we'll see how that goes. Hope you enjoyed it.